As we all know, Minecraft is a super easy game, but what if I removed one of its most important features, hitting? Well, I already did that. This time, I'm going to do it a little bit different. I'm going to change things up. For the 3 bosses in Minecraft, that being the Ender Dragon, Wither and Warden, I'm not allowed to use any weapons, apart from D and Destroy. Besides my fists, I cannot hit them with anything else. As for all the other mobs, I can do whatever I want to them. Just like any Minecraft world, I started by getting wood, the essential tools, and heading straight to the mines. Luckily, just off of spawn was a village. I looted their chests and got their iron golem. With all of the supplies I needed for now, it was time to set up a little base and get to the Nether.
You stupid!
After making the portal, I realised I was 1 iron short for flint and steel, so I quickly went and got the iron, and I also made a suit of armour. With getting to the Nether, there will be 2 mobs we need to hunt down, blazes and wither skeletons. Well, I can also look for endermen, but it's not necessary as I can always trade for pearls. I couldn't believe my luck, as right where I put my portal, not only was there a fortress, but it was in a soul sand valley. The reason this is so important is fortresses in this biome have the highest spawn rate for wither skeletons. The only problem was that this fortress had every mob in the game. It was like a war zone. There was more here than there would have been in a mob farm. This made getting the blaze rods a nightmare, but I persisted. One after the other, I kept fighting the blazes until I got my first rod. I just needed to do that 8 more times. Not long after getting my second, I then got hit by a fireball and, well, I died. To make things easier, I'm going to get a bow and arrow, and to get enough arrows, I shall need flint. But not for making my own. No, that will take way too long. I shall trade. By gathering logs, I turned them into planks and then to sticks. With the sticks, I then traded them for some emeralds. We're going to need a lot of emeralds, so I went back to chopping trees. And in total, I got 23 emeralds, and this is where I made a stupid mistake. Yeah, I was not happy. I meant to spend that on getting arrows like this. But since all my emeralds were gone, it was back to chopping trees. By the time I got enough arrows, it would have been easier to have just made them. But with the bow, it made the Nether a breeze, and before I knew it, I had all 9 rods. I just needed to get pearls. While this biome is great for blazes and skeletons, both endermen and pigmen don't like to spawn here. I could just explore the Nether, but I thought it would be easier just to find somewhere new to make a portal. So I hopped back into the overworld, went really far away till I found a ruined portal, and made one there. This may not be the best place to find an enderman, I can still trade for pearls, so that's what I did. It was a repetitive cycle. I would get gold, find a pigman, and watch them give me scraps for money, with the occasional pearl. But with time, I had enough. I just needed to get home. Unfortunately, I had lost my portal, but the pigments were selling me obsidian. I just needed 2 more blocks. These 2 blocks took longer than getting all of the pearls. After placing the last block, I was free and I could get back to the overworld to finally fight the first boss. After crafting the Eyes of Ender, only thing I needed to do was find the portal. Alright, so you might be saying to yourself, this isn't really a challenge, you're just playing Minecraft normally. Yes, so far I am. But now is where the real challenge starts. I need to place all of my weapons away. Oh, I also took off my armor. I'll only have my meat mitts, my hand cannons, the knuckle nukes. Just like a normal dragon fight, I took out all the crystals one by one.
Bruh.
Fatality.
And started hitting the dragon. It took a long time, but it was quite easy. Don't get me wrong, I did die a few times. But after using my jaw adjusters, I got the job done. Making the first of 3 to to fold. That was the easiest one. The other two are going to be a lot harder. Okay, next on the chopping block is the wither. I need 2 items, the skulls being the hardest to get. To make it a little easier, I'm going to get myself some diamonds. With them, I made a pickaxe and a sword. But before going back into the nether, there was one thing I need to do. I want to enchant.
Really?
It's been a long time since I've done that. Here is what I thought a crafting recipe was, and here is what it actually is. I thought I needed both an enchanted book and some wool. So I went on a bit of a side quest. Getting the wool was easy, but getting the book was harder. I had completely forgotten about trading with villagers, so I thought I would just fish. I couldn't get one for a rod, so I went to piglin trading. Once again, no luck, but on my way back to the village, I had the bright idea to check how to make one. And I had everything I needed. There goes 2 hours I won't get back. Now, with the enchanting table, I'm going to get looting 3. This will help a lot with getting the skulls, but it's still a very tedious task. Oh, and on my way, I found this jewel. So, a wither skeleton has a 2.5% chance of dropping a skull, or a 5.5% chance with a looting 3 sword. It's not that much of a difference, but it does help. By the way, on bedrock, for some weird reason, it's 8.8%. I guess they just need the extra help. After some time, I got all 3 skulls. Now, with this boss, it will be hard, especially since he can just fly away. So to stop that, we will go underground. By mining all the way to bedrock, I added a pool at the bottom to make it easier to get down there, and also added a very long hallway. This hallway will lead to an open cavern. That I will fight the wither in theory keeping it close to the ground. After digging it all out, I returned to the surface and placed all my tools away and grabbed the blocks. I also got a bed and set my spawn at the top to make it easier after I die. With placing the last head, I started the fight. Let's just say I was in over my head. I tried for a while before I remembered that the wither heals itself, and I would need a new tactic. But I'll also need 3 more skulls. This time I'll be suffocating the wither in bedrock, more precisely the end portal. Technically, I would be defeating it without a weapon, so it counts. The only thing I need is 3 more skulls. And that was easier said than done. I was killing skeleton after skeleton until I fell into the lava. And this is really bad because I had my looting 3 sword on me. Without that, I couldn't get all 3 skulls in a timely manner. I needed to change my approach. By setting the world to peaceful, I can do some scheming. By getting a lot of wood and turning them into buttons, I can place them all over the fortress. This will prevent any mobs from spawning. This sounds backwards, but we want all of the skeletons to spawn in a very specific area. I'm going to be making a mob farm. I went and got all the blocks I needed. Now the farm won't be perfect, other mobs will spawn, but it will mostly be skeletons. This will drastically increase the time it takes to gather all the skulls, and if I fail and have to redo it again, it'll be really easy to get another 3 skulls. With the farm up and running, it didn't take long for me to get my first skull. Or my second, and my third. With all 3 skulls, I could start making my way to the end portal. Setting this trap up is very simple. All you need to do is dig a hole underneath the bedrock that's 2 blocks high, and in the center you put 4 pieces of obsidian. I put everything away, and it was time to go. With everything set up, I just needed to spawn the bad boy. After he spawns, he will start taking damage, but it will take a while for him to die, so to speed things up, I'm also going to punch him. It doesn't speed it up much, but it does a little bit. This took a long time, but it was easy, so I can't complain. After a long time, the wither died. That marks another off the list, and that means we only have 1 left, the Warden. Although the Warden is the hardest and the strongest, he's actually going to be quite easy. I have a plan for him, but first we need to find him, and the best way to find him is underneath a mountain biome. This took me hours. Eventually I gave up and I typed my seed into a website that tells you where structures are. I ran to the closest one and made a little base, so when I die, I can respawn. I opened a creative world so I could show you the plan. It's pretty simple. I need to dig a hole into the ground and get the warden to fall in. And then I'll use gravel to suffocate him. Pretty simple, but it just takes forever. Here's a time lapse. I just need to somehow get him into the hole. So to set this trap up, I'm gonna get some wool to make moving around a little easier. I also grabbed a few other things, and all I needed to do was set up the hole. Once again, to make it easier, I turned it to peaceful so he wouldn't spawn until I'm ready. To get him in the hole, I thought I'd used a note block. Spoiler alert, it didn't work. When everything was set up, it was time to spawn him. Now because the note block wasn't working, I thought I'd just use myself as bait and get him in. Which, to be fair, it worked. I just needed to break the trapdoors that were above him, otherwise they would stop the gravel. After breaking them, I ran above the trap and released the gravel. But it didn't work.
Hello, motherfucker.
You see, I think it's because the gravel was on top of the torches, it just made him glitch out of the hole. I need to try it again. This time I'm going to place the gravel by hand. Because of the blindness, you can't really see what's happening, but it worked. All the gravel fell down and now we just need to wait. And he died. So that's how it's done. All 3 bosses in Minecraft without using any weapons. If you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe. I want to try some better challenges next time. This one was way too easy and not really a challenge. This was a shit idea. Anyway, I got a really good idea next time, so stay tuned.